Similar is the story for a Lupin as well. As we know, they did make an acquisition in yesterday's day of trade, and on the back of the acquisition, brokerages have become upbeat on the counter. The stock is well seeing gains of almost over 1%. You have a Motilal Oswal which has maintained a buy rating, and they have a target price of 1,215. And what they are saying is that they have a strong presence in women health division. Symbiomix is working on branded franchise of Solosec, and the US FDA approval for Solosec oral granules is for bacterial vaginosis. The company believes Solosec is eligible for 10 years of exclusivity in the US for a Lupin, and they are expecting a recovery to come in the second half, where the US market views would continue, because of pricing pressure and new competition at Metamorphin portfolio is expected to impact. But that's Motilal Oswal. Credit Suisse has an underperform rating, and they have a target price of 965. And what they are saying is that Solosec deal could boost IRR of 15% at peak sales of $100 million, and Lupin expects to launch Solosec by mid-2018. CLSA as well, they have increased the target price to 1,180 from a 1,100, and they do have an outperform rating on the counter as well. And lastly, you have a Morgan Stanley which has an overweight rating. They have maintained a target price of 1,224 on a Lupin, and what they are saying is that the acquisition is expected to enrich the specialty pipeline of Lupin. Solosec is to add to Lupin's women health portfolio, and the management is expecting a payback period of 5 to 6 years. So across categories, across companies, the major thing that we're hearing right now is the specialty portfolio is something that everyone is betting big on. So the next 2 to 3 years are looking pretty much strong, because 2 to 3 years from now is when the specialty portfolio of all these pharma companies is expected to play out. And that's the reason why you have analysts also who are positive from a long-term growth perspective in terms of pharma as a sector go. So that's the story in terms of where Lupin as well as Sun Pharma go. But apart from that, before we wind up, Nifty as well, 10,024 continues the upward momentum, gains of around 40.